we've talked offense, defense, we can talk special teams, but what this game really came down to, Alex, in my opinion, was you just made too many small, dumb mistakes to win a football game of this caliber. You talk about some of the play calls that put you behind the sticks, but when you talk about J.J. and Igbare getting a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct when you get a stop on third down. You talk about you get down in the red zone, Xavier Legette has a false start, sets you up 1st and 15. There were just things that happened in this game, disciplinary issues, small mistakes that Carolina made. And again, they're not huge mistakes in the grand scheme of things, but mistakes you just cannot make and win a football game of this magnitude.
No, you're 100% right. I mean, it's mistakes you would expect from a first week game.
Yeah.
And it happened to come against Tennessee this time and not South Central Louisiana State University.
Coastal, if we played them. Yeah, Coastal.
Yeah, sure. But, you kind of going back to where you're talking about kicking the field goal for just like a last point. Ultimately, the issue I have with it is you had a 3rd and 15. Yeah. Instead of trying to get yourself closer, you threw a screen pass. So that was the play from –
You were being conservative from the 3rd down play. Like you were almost playing for the field goal. You were playing.
We were playing for the field goal.
Yeah.
And I don't like. So I don't understand what you're gaining or losing by being more aggressive there.
In that regard, I 100% agree with you. Yeah. I mean you have to. You're down 7 at that point. Yes, I agree with you 110%. You've got to get more aggressive earlier in the series, so you don't get into a 4th and 12, or you don't get into even a 3rd and 15. I mean. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
And so that's a small takeaway. But then from there, talking about like the small mistakes, I think that's just amplified because of the situation we're in, where you're playing an SEC game week 1. Honestly, it was pretty clean from a penalties perspective for the most part. I was trying to think back. I don't think there was one holding penalty called.
I don't think so, honestly. Which there should have been a few. I mean, I remember specifically Ernest Jones getting bear hugged trying to get to Jarrett Garantano, and there was nothing there. So,
definitely. But there were several. Like I don't think there was any PIs or holdings for the entire game. So they were letting them play, which is good and bad. But at the same time, the small mistakes that you're talking about it seems typical of the first week game, and it just happened to be Tennessee this year instead of Coastal.